A wave of chaos swept through the town when a mysterious black rain began to fall. Anyone who came into contact with it was instantly transformed into a savage, mindless zombie. The government responded by deploying military forces to suppress the outbreak, but the horde was too vicious and uncontrollable. With no other viable options, the authorities decided to quarantine the entire town to prevent the infection from spreading. Desperate for a solution, Commander Carter recruited Jack, a former elite mercenary who had been imprisoned after a betrayal by his own squad during a covert mission. Jack's mission was to infiltrate the nuclear power plant located in the heart of the infected zone and blow it up. The idea was to incinerate everything, zombies, the virus, and any evidence, ensuring total destruction. To assist him, Carter assigned 3 other death row inmates. If they completed the mission, they'd not only regain their freedom but also receive $2 million each. With nothing left to lose, the team accepted the mission and headed into the danger zone. Soon, they reached the nuclear facility, and as they exited their vehicle, an eerie silence greeted them. There were no zombies in sight, only dead staff scattered around. Jack picked up a keycard from one of the bodies and opened the gates. The facility seemed deserted, but the unnatural stillness kept everyone on edge. Jack instructed their sniper to climb to a high vantage point to keep watch. Meanwhile, Jack and Eden began clearing the surroundings while John began setting up the bomb. But when John opened the case, he was shocked. The timer was already ticking down. Even worse, the bomb was wired to the vehicle's ignition. If anyone started the car, the bomb would detonate immediately, meaning their escape plan was now a death trap. John exploded in rage as he realized they had been set up. Jack and Eden rushed over and the grim truth became clear. They were expendable assets meant to complete the job and die in the process. On top of that, Carter had been watching their every move. Then came the biggest revelation. Carter had been behind the outbreak all along. The facility had been running secret experiments to develop biochemical weapons. But a catastrophic lab explosion had released the virus into the air. The virus mixed with rainfall, creating the deadly black rain that turned people into zombies. While Jack and the team processed the truth, Dragon spotted an enormous horde of zombies charging toward them. He immediately warned the team via radio and a brutal fight broke out. From his elevated position, Dragon took precise shots, picking off the infected one by one, but the number of zombies was overwhelming. John baited the infected into an open area where he had placed more explosives. But unfortunately, Dragon was ambushed and bitten. Knowing what would happen next, he called John and asked him to end his life before he turned. Despite the pain, John honored his wish and put him down swiftly. The remaining survivors spotted a car nearby, but knew that driving through the zombie-infested streets would be impossible without more firepower. They made their way to the town's police station, hoping to arm themselves. They cleared out the station and began gathering weapons and ammunition. While searching the facility, Jack discovered a woman locked inside one of the cells. Seeing she wasn't infected, Jack freed her and brought her along. Meanwhile, Carter, monitoring the security feeds, immediately recognized the woman and dispatched soldiers to retrieve her. While fighting their way to the rooftop, Jack finally learned who she was. Her name was Sam, and she was the daughter of the scientist who had originally created the virus. Sam revealed that Carter had forced her father to develop a serum intended to create super soldiers. But during testing, the subjects mutated into uncontrollable monsters. Despite the disastrous results, Carter pushed forward, even injecting the serum into his own men. Sam's father, horrified by what he'd unleashed, made a desperate call to his daughter, urging her to escape and expose the truth. But before she could flee, she was captured and locked up. Her father then resolved to destroy his own creation. He attempted to kill the mutated soldiers by detonating a fuel tank in the lab. Though he succeeded in blowing up the lab, it failed to stop the mutants, and the explosion accelerated the virus's spread across the region. Jack finally realized why Carter wanted to destroy the entire town with a nuclear blast. He wanted to cover up his crimes and erase all evidence of the failed experiment. While the group was still inside the police station, John came up with a plan for escaping. Outside, the moans of zombies grew louder as the creatures crowded the building. Then, a strange noise echoed behind them. As if something had dropped, the zombies immediately turned, drawn by the sound of potential prey. But when they saw what had landed, they paused in confusion. It was a decapitated zombie head, rigged with explosives. The explosion created just enough time for Jack and the group to make their move and slip out, but their escape was short-lived as the car ran out of gas. Fortunately, They spotted a gas station nearby and began pushing the car toward the pumps. Just as they reached it, a massive horde of zombies charged toward them. At that critical moment, a van screeched into the scene. A couple leapt out, clearly desperate to fuel up as well. Realizing they wouldn't make it in time, the two survivors, along with Jack's group, rushed into a nearby warehouse to seek shelter. Inside, the couple introduced themselves. Doug and his wife, longtime residents of the town, who had managed to survive the outbreak by hiding in their basement. When Doug heard the town was set to be bombed in just 30 minutes, all color drained from his face. Meanwhile, the zombie horde outside grew larger and the time was running out. As they quickly discussed their next move, a zombie lunged at Doug's wife. Eden reacted instantly, but not before it bit her arm. Knowing exactly what the bite meant, Doug's wife didn't hesitate. She raised her gun and ended her life. Doug was devastated, cradling her body in shock. John silently took in the scene, then made a grim decision. He would distract the zombies himself so the others could escape. It was a suicide mission, but it was their only chance. Without delay, John charged outside, yelling at the top of his lungs to draw the zombies' attention, and the horde immediately turned and rushed toward him, while Jack and the others raced into Doug's van. Soon after, the van arrived at the designated extraction point where Carter had promised a helicopter would arrive. But as they waited anxiously, a chilling scream pierced the air from a nearby warehouse. Rushing to investigate, they found themselves ambushed. Carter's soldiers had been lying in wait. Carter appeared, holding Jack's daughter hostage. He demanded that Sam be handed over, believing she had inherited her father's research data before his death. Before Jack could respond, Sam stepped forward willingly, agreeing to the exchange. Carter kept his word and released Jack's daughter. Just when Carter thought he had the upper hand, subject number 1, the most powerful of the experimental super soldiers, appeared. The soldiers opened fire, but the creature shrugged off the bullets as if they were nothing. The creature tore through the squad with ease, lifting one soldier into the air and ripping him apart. Carter, refusing to accept defeat, tried to fight, but the monster grabbed his head and ended his life instantly. Sam ran for her life, but the monster was right behind her. Jack stepped in to defend her, but he was no match for the beast. The mutant grabbed him by the neck and began choking the life out of him. Just when all hope seemed lost, Doug searched the helicopter and found a rocket launcher. Without hesitation, he took aim and fired. The mutated creature was blown apart, and finally, the surviving members climbed aboard the helicopter. Just as the countdown reached 0, they lifted off and escaped, leaving the doomed town behind them in a cloud of fire and smoke.